What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Tony the Barber back at it with another video. Today we're just going to be doing a high taper. Let's go ahead and get right into this. So starting off the cut, my client did ask for a mid taper, but the further we went into it, he said he didn't want the C cup and he just wanted the vertical barb. So we talked about it a little more, and then we came to the conclusion that we're going to go ahead and just rock with the high taper. So I'm gonna go ahead and punch in my line and pretty much get the foundation set up for this high taper. So now I'm tapping in my bald line, and I'm going to be using his vertical bar, the bottom of his vertical bar, as a reference point on where I'm going to be starting my bald line at. And after I got my bald line set in, I will be following that up with my foil shaver just to get it down to skin. And when I'm going in with my foil shaver, I'm not taking it all the way to the bald line. I'm just going up just beneath it. Coming in, I have my teapot plays with my lever completely open, and I'm going to be setting in my first section now. And I'm just going to be going up about half an inch. Now, once I got that section established, I will be taking it out as soon as I set it in. And I'm going to be softening it up first by putting my lever in the halfway position and just flicking halfway through that section, making sure I don't take it all the way to the top of the section. And then after it's softened up, I will be closing my lever completely and using my corners to flick at that bottom line, and that'll completely take out that section or fade it out. After our first section has been faded out, we're going to be moving on to our second section, which is going to be our number one guard. And it's going to be the same thing. We go up another half inch, set it in, and then after we set it in, we're going to take it out. And now that I got it set and established, I got my 0.5 guard on now, lever at the halfway position, and I'm using my corners to flick halfway through that second section to fade it out. Following that up, I got my number two guard on, and I'm just gonna basically have my guard or clipper floating off the side of his head, just to try to get that hair to connect to the parietal ridge or the hair that's gonna be resting on top. And once I got that kind of knocked down, I'm gonna set my lever at the halfway position and put my number 1.5 guard on, and I'll be using my corners again and just flicking, trying to get that hair to blend into the top now. And so after all that, you can still see a little bit of bulk and weight at the top of his head. So what I'm going to be doing is I'll be putting up my 1.5 guard back on, and I will be going with the grain. And that's basically going to lighten up that bulk and just make the fade have more of a consistency and more of a flow to it. At this point in the haircut, my foundation is solid. The haircut's decent, but just to go that extra mile, I will be going in and doing my detail work with my one guard and lever play. And I'm just going in, knocking down dark spots just to make sure that that fade has a consistency to it. And I'm going to be doing lever play with it and just, utilizing my corners the entire time I'm doing detail work. Now that we got one side of his head already complete, we're gonna be going over to the other side and doing those exact same steps. Now we're going to be doing the same steps on the back of the head, except the only difference is that first guideline, I am going to stretch it a little bit more. I'll say I'll probably stretch it to a full inch on that first guideline. And that's just because we have a lot more room to work with in the back of the head, and the hairs back there are a lot more dense. So I will be stretching it out a lot more so it has a nice flow. Now, before I start lining up the nape and around his ears, I got my one guard on, and I'm just going to be going with the grain right above that area that I will be lining up, so that way there's no hairs overlapping, and it has a lot more of a cleaner appearance when I set that line in. Now for the lineup, I am going to be doing some prep work before I get into it, so that way I have good results. And so I'm first things first. I'm going to go ahead and debulk the hairline because he does have a lot of body near the hairline because he was waving before, so he has a lot more overlap on the hairline right now. So I'm just going in with my one guard, and I'm just going with the grain, knocking it down. And then right after that, I'm gonna go ahead and put some holding spray down. And I usually use Got to Be hairspray. I put a light layer of that right on the hairline, and I brush the hairs over that, so that way everything lines up nice and evenly. Now I'm setting in my vertical bars first, just so that way I can use those as reference points whenever I do start lining up. And when I do the vertical bars, I always tap and then pull away from the hairline, tap and pull away from the hairline, so that way I don't run the risk of pushing his vertical bars back. Now, while lining up my client, he did mention that his left side is a little bit higher than his right side is. So I was going to line up the right side first just to get it even to the left side. But while I'm lining him up, I'll periodically turn him around to face towards the mirror so I can have a different perspective on the hairline. So, because if you just cut it and look at it or whatnot, you're lining him up and you keep looking at him, your eyes will start to get fixated and it's harder to tell if it's straight or not. So it's always a good practice to use different perspectives whenever you're lining him up, whether that be a mirror, or you look away, let your eyes rest and look back at it, or even use your camera, your phone, to snap a picture or video and look at it through there too. All right, YouTube, just to give you guys a quick refresher, this is how my boy came in looking, and this is how I got him coming out. Now, if y'all did enjoy this video, please show some love, like, comment, and subscribe.